I'm 46 and I took my body fat from 25% to 12% and I didn't do it through willpower. I was able to get lean and keep it there by building simple systems. In this video, we're going to go over the philosophy behind systems, why they work, and what the actual difference is between people who stay lean and people who yo-yo their entire life. In the second part of this video, I'm going to walk you through the 4 specific systems that I think you should install if you haven't already, because they will drastically increase your chances of getting lean and keeping it that way. By the way, if you're new here, my name is Dan Go. I owned a gym for 11 years and I sold that in 2018. And since then, I've been coaching high achieving entrepreneurs to transform their health with ease and minimal stress. Now, you probably already know this, but willpower runs out. That's just how it works. You wake up with a full tank and every decision you make all day drains by a little. So by 8 p.m. when the fridge is calling your name, you've got nothing left. And I used to think that staying lean meant trying harder. You need to have discipline. You need to have grit. For years, that's exactly what I do. And then I would yo-yo. I'd be lean for a few months and I'd completely fall off. And let me show you what that actually looks like. This is what willpower looks like over time. You try hard, so you get yourself down, you lose some weight, motivation dips, creeps back up, it drops, life happens again, motivation dips, it drops, and then over the course of years, something happens, you lose motivation, and then you lose discipline, and then what happens is you just go back up to where you were before. And this was me for years. When you stop relying on willpower and start building systems instead, here's what happens. This blue line over here is going to be systems. Don't mind my writing. Now, when you use systems, what's going to happen is that it's going to be a little bit slower. Maybe you will see some gentle spikes here and there. You're going to see a spike here. I mean, this is just what weight loss is. But what happens over the course of time is that the systems become automatic. There's no spiking, there's no grinding, there's actually no motivation required. And it's just because you have a system running in the background all day. And it becomes automated because the more that you do the behavior, the more it gets into your nervous system, and then it just becomes a habit. Now, the thing that changed everything for me wasn't trying harder, it was actually removing the decisions entirely. So when you don't have to decide when to eat, how to train, how to sleep, you just follow the system. And that's the whole idea behind what I'm about to show you. Just 4 systems, you follow them, and you make getting lean automatic. Now, system number 1 is for nutrition, and I call it circadian eating. Now, most people obsess about what to eat. Fewer people think about when to eat. You may not know this, but your body actually runs on a clock, and eating in line with that clock does a lot of the work for you. I eat within a set window every single day. It's the same start time, same end time, most days of the week. Now, here's what most people miss is that this isn't about restriction. It's about removing the 10 tiny decisions you'd normally make about food every single day. When that window is set, the decision is already made. And also something you have to realize about the body is that it thrives off of routine. The more that you train your body to eat at specific times that work with your biology instead of working against it, you're going to find that your hunger and appetite start to become automated. Now, here's what we do for our clients. One of the best ways to find the perfect meal schedule is actually to start at the end. We want to have our final meal scheduled at least 3 to 5 hours before we go to sleep. This is going to improve the quality of your sleep. It's also going to improve digestion. And also, your body is less insulin sensitive at night. And we want to take advantage of that by making sure that we're getting our body into a rest and digest mode. After that, we want to go to the beginning. We want to have a high protein, high fiber meal at least 1 to 2 hours upon waking. I personally love the glop that I talked about on this video over here. And then between those meals, we put a middle meal in there. And then these 3 meals become a semblance of their circadian eating schedule that they can take with them wherever they go, whether they're traveling, whether they're at home. This is one of the best ways to entrain your hunger to work for you instead of against you. Now, system number 2 is for exercise, and it's called the 2X method, and I talked about it on this video over here. So most people fail at training because they overcomplicate things. They use fancy splits, they do a little bit too much in the gym, they do 5 different workouts a week, and they're constantly switching programs. Now, I do the opposite. I have 3 sessions a week, I use the same structure, and I'm making sure that I'm doing the same exercises, and I'm doing this for at least 12 weeks, if not for even a full year. And the system is simple. We're going to do a full body workout 3 times a week, like I mentioned, making sure that we're hitting each muscle group 2 times per week, doing 2 sets per exercise and taking each set to failure. Now, this is the important part. You're going to stick with the same workout for at least 12 to 16 weeks, getting stronger at each exercise. And the 2X method works because it's repeatable and effective. You don't have to think about it. You already know what each day looks like. You're hitting each muscle group frequently, so we're stimulating hypertrophy. You're not going to be like most people who, when an exercise gets hard, they tend to change it. You're going to have to seek progression in one of two ways, either by adding more weight or by adding more volume in terms of reps. When we do these exercises, what we're looking for is to hit the top of your strength curve and then go past it. And if I'm being completely honest, when you hit the top of your strength curve, that's when shit gets hard. But that's how you build muscle. Now, the whole point of a system is that it runs without having you decide anything. And also, your job is to keep on running the system even when it gets hard. Now, system number 3 is for your sleep, and I call this one the ERT protocol. And it stands for environment, routine, and timing. Think of environment as the invisible hand that dictates how well you sleep. In the go home, when the sun goes down, we start to dim the lights in our house. What you have to understand is that your eyes are a signaler to your body for when it's supposed to be time to sleep. So when your eyes are taking in bright light, especially at night, it's still telling your body that you should be awake. And we want to take this concept further into your room. We want to make sure it's dark, cool, and quiet. Now, routine is what you do in the final few hours before you go to sleep. Essentially, you just want a couple of steps that are going to start to signal to your body that it is time to start chilling out. So aside from dimming our lights, something that we like to do is we like to take hot showers at least 1 to 2 hours before going to bed, because this actually raises our core temperature and cools it down by the time we go to sleep. The other thing that myself and my family do, especially at night, is wear blue light blockers to block the blue light from going into your eyes, because remember, when you are looking at bright light, especially at night, it's training your body to stay awake. Now, the final part is about half an hour before going to sleep. I like to turn off all screens and make sure that I'm just reading a book. And by the way, one of the best books I'm reading right now is called Red Rising. I actually read the entire trilogy in about 2 weeks. And it's one of the most enthralling fiction books that I've read in a very long time. And the last part is going to be timing. And that just means that you're going to go to bed and sleep at the same times, even on the weekends. And I would actually say that that probably is the most important part of this protocol. Because if we just compile all of the sleep studies that have been done to improve your sleep, the thing that matters most is just having the same timing. And sleep isn't just for recovery, it's a fat loss lever. When you stick to a system like the ERT protocol, it makes great sleep automatic, which will regulate your hunger and appetite and energy the next day. It's what we call a virtuous cycle. Now, the final system is what we call the body dashboard. This is the system that runs the other three, because here's the truth. You can have the best nutrition system, the best training method, you can have the best sleep protocol, but if you're not tracking anything, you won't actually know what's working. Now, basic metrics you should be tracking are going to be your weight, your waistline, and taking pictures. On the deeper level, you also want to look at your blood work and even take a DEXA scan every 6 to 12 months to see where your real body fat and muscle levels are. And you also want to be able to measure how much visceral fat you have. And one of the most underrated ways to improve your sleep is to track it. And this means getting some form of a sleep tracker, wearing it for at least 6 to 12 months, seeing what moves your sleep, seeing what doesn't, and then making behaviors around those to make sure that you are getting the right amount of sleep and the right quality of sleep. And after those 6 to 12 months is over, you can just put the tracker away, because you won't need it anymore, because you know what informs your sleep. Now, you have to understand that what gets measured gets improved upon. And if you care about something, you're going to track it. And if you don't care about it, you won't. This is the part that most people skip, so make sure you don't skip it. So that's it. 4 systems. You have circadian eating for nutrition, you have the 2X method for training, you have ERT protocol for sleep, and you have the body dashboard tying it all together. Now, I'll tell you right now, none of this requires willpower. It just requires structure. So what your job is to pick one system, just one, and install it for a full week. And if you're serious about losing the fat and not going through the yo-yo cycle, then go watch this video over here where I break down exactly how I would approach losing 30 pounds step by step. Thanks for watching the video. See you right there.